Hi everyone, Mr. Ross back again. I am going to cover our lesson for Friday, May 29th. Today you're going to be continuing Unit 4, Lesson 2 and learning about the properties of waves. You can see here on my link that you're going to be reading pages 44 and 45 and completing the activities on page 46 and 47. Today we're going to be looking at sound waves. At the end, you are going to do the writing prompt, which says choose two of the three types of waves to compare and contrast. Compare and contrast. That means how they're the same and how they're different. Compare and contrast. Write a compare and contrast paragraph using text evidence and domain-specific words. Those domain-specific words are the words over here like crest, trough, amplitude, wavelength, etc. So the three types of waves that we are studying in this lesson are water waves, waves on a string, and today we're going to be looking at sound waves. Let's get right into it. The properties of sound waves. You have learned that water waves and waves on a string both have amplitude, wavelength, and frequency. Sound waves also have these three properties. Amplitude of sound waves. Like the other types of waves, the amplitude of sound waves is the size of the waves. But crests and troughs in sound waves are different from those in other types of waves. Recall that crests and troughs in sound waves are the areas where the matter pushes together and spreads out. The amplitude of sound waves is how much the matter pushes together at the crests and how much it spreads out at the troughs. If the matter pushes together a lot, the waves have a large amplitude. If the matter does not push together as much, the waves have a small amplitude. Sound waves move through the air. They are hard to see since you cannot see air. But you can hear sound waves, so you measure the properties of sound by how they sound. Sound waves with large amplitudes are loud. Sound waves you make when you yell have large amplitude. The matter pushes together a lot, so the sound is loud. Sound waves with small amplitudes are quiet. The sound waves you make when you whisper have a small amplitude. The matter does not push together as much, so the sound is quiet. And right here's a picture that shows the crests where the amplitude is tight together and the trough where it's spread apart. Sound waves also have wavelength. Like the other examples of waves, the wavelength of sound waves is the distance between two crests that are next to each other. You listen to find the wavelength of a sound wave. High-pitched sound has a short wavelength. Low-pitched sound has a long wavelength. Remember, high-pitched is where it's kind of squeaky, like ah. Low-pitched is kind of deep, like whoa. Frequency of sound waves. Sound waves also have a frequency, which is how many crests pass a certain point in a certain amount of time. Many people measure the frequency of sound waves as how many crests enter your ear in a second. In all waves, frequency and wavelength are dependent of each other. Two things are dependent when they affect each other. The wavelength of a wave affects its frequency. More waves will pass a given point in a certain amount of time if a wave has a short wavelength. So a wave with a shorter wavelength will have a greater frequency. A wave with a longer wavelength will have a smaller frequency. High-pitched sounds have a high frequency. Low-pitched sounds have a low frequency. So I want you to take a look at the the diagram here at the bottom to match up so you're going to be looking at the sound that these different things make and decide, is it a small amplitude? Is it a small wavelength? Is it a high amplitude? Is it a high wavelength or large? And then you're going to look down here and answer the questions about the different types of waves. Let's talk quickly about your writing prompt. So I want you to compare the similarities and differences of two types of waves. You're going to choose either waves on a string, water waves, or sound waves. You need to choose two of those three and write a paragraph about how they're the same and how they're different. All right, if you've got any questions, please reach out to your teacher. Hope you guys have a great day.